What's going on, everybody? I am back with another Prizepicks MLB player props video. This one going to be breaking it down, giving you guys 5 picks to get you winning some money over here on Prizepicks. As always, coming off a clean sweep, guys. We went 4-0. Unfortunately, Paul Blackburn got scratched, so he was not in the lineup, so it reverted down to a 4-man play, but we nailed all 4. We went with the Jeffrey Springs over fantasy score, Josiah Gray fantasy score, Steele fantasy score, and Robbie Ray over fantasy score. You see the results, a clean 4-0 sweep. So you should have profited a bunch of money. Hopefully you enjoyed that video. If you enjoyed this video, guys, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. Get this thing up to 200 likes. Coming off a clean sweep, we're on an 8-1 run. We're hot, guys. And if you haven't checked out the premium content packages, you need to do so today. Especially the VIP package. If you only play on one site, I do offer some cheaper alternatives just because I don't want to charge, as much for that. But if you're really looking to get an edge, really looking to learn it, and you're playing every single day and you're really looking to make a lot of money, you got to check out the KJK VIP member package. We are making an absolute killing. I include picks for all apps, tons of value to be had, tons of money to be made, and we're just popping off in that Discord. I'm absolutely loving the experience. We're winning together. Some great minds in there as well, so shout out to the VIP members. Just a great community, myself, but then there's also a lot of help along the way to find the value. And of course, if you have any questions, I can help you out immediately. VIP members are a top priority. You get access to the exclusive Discord. I also give the big ticket before I launch these videos, so you can get these picks in before all the bumps occur, which just happened. Literally, we'll talk about it. But one of my picks, I placed my big ticket, and then immediately it got bumped. So I'm going to explain what I got the line at. I'm still going to give it out as a pick. I can't control the bumps. It's just really frustrating, but you get the early edge with this package. That's the kind of stuff that I cannot control, especially once I launch this video. If thousands of people watch it and the lines start to change because everyone's placing the ticket, I cannot control that, but I do my best to help out in any way possible. And if you haven't signed up for Prizepicks, sign up today. Use that promo code KJK DFS to receive an instant match on your first deposit up to $100 today, guys. Locking these picks, start winning some money. Let's talk about it. We'll go game by game as we always do. And the first game I'm going to talk about is going to be the Cleveland Guardians taking on the Detroit Tigers. We'll kick things off with these pitchers. We'll kick things off with Zach Prizepicks, who I think is in for some trouble today. It's going to be the theme of the video, kind of for the most part. I'm on a lot of unders today. We will be talking about some overs as well. But Zach Prizepicks, looking at his stuff across the board as far as how he fares, he is less than stellar. He's got a 4.47 Sierra, only a 17.6% K overall, struggles on the ground ball, fly ball stuff, hard contact stuff. Is pretty solid against right-handed hitting, but lefties is where he really runs into trouble. He's got a 21.3% K rating against those righties, only a 365 slugging given up. Then when you switch it on over to lefties, though, it's a completely different story. It drops all the way down to a 13.7% K rate. He gives up a 465 slugging, 32.6% hard contact rate with a 363 WOBA, 42.9% fly ball rate. He's also got a walk issue against lefties. He's just really bad against lefties, and that's going to be a problem for him today because he has to take on a Detroit Tigers team that, while they may not have the most talent in the world, they are a very left-handed heavy lineup, and the lineup's already officially released. There's only going to be 2 righties in here. Javi Baez in the 3 spot, Jonathan Scope in the 6 spot. So Prizepicks splits are going to be put to the test here, and I think his fantasy score line is way too inflated over here on Prizepicks. So 27.5 pitcher fantasy score. I understand it's the Detroit Tigers. The under 27.5. I want to make sure I highlight that. The under 27.5 pitcher fantasy score for Zach Prizepicks is what we're going to be going with. You look at the recent form as far as how he's been doing, consistently giving up a lot of earned runs. I mean, he gave up 4 last time out, 5 the time before, 3, 2, 4. You look at the strikeouts, 4, 7, 4, 3. He's going to be right around 3, 4 strikeouts most likely against the Tigers. He just faced this Tigers team. He had 3 strikeouts. He went 3.2 innings pitched. Gave up 2 earned runs, and they pulled him at only 72 pitches. So if that's any indicator, didn't do too good against the Tigers last time out. I'm kind of expecting more of the same. Like I said, he's got some major splits issues. And these lefties are pretty K-heavy in this Detroit Tigers lineup. But like we just discussed, Prizepicks doesn't strike out the lefties. So it's kind of a perfect combination for these Detroit Tigers. It's being played in Detroit, which as far as a hitting environment, we'll pull that up. It's not the worst hitting environment in the world. Definitely could be better. It does play a lot friendly to right-handed hitters, I will say. But they can go the other way with it. They can get runners on base. Just move the base paths a little bit. I do think it's pretty likely they're able to get to Prizepicks, and I have a hard time seeing him be able to get up over this 27.5 projected fantasy score. Keep in mind, guys, the live scoring does not factor in the earned runs against these pitchers until the pitcher's been pulled from the game and or the game's complete. So you get -3 for every one of those earned runs that he gives up. That will not reflect in the live scoring until after the game or after he's been pulled. So there's a good chance some of these guys might be past their projected fantasy score and then get bumped down if we win this ticket. So just don't freak out if they all go over. Make sure you're checking the game logs, you know, the live scoring, and if he's been giving up some runs and they're earned runs, he's going to get negative points when the game's complete. So under 27.5 fantasy score for Zach Plesac. That's going to be pick number 1. And then pick number 2, we're going to be running it back on the other side with Garrett Hill. Same thing. He's got very underwhelming stuff. These guys really don't have the highest K rates. They're not going to miss any bats. You can see Garrett Hill really bad. He's got a 5.7 Sierra and 12.3% walk rate. He's only got a 6.8% swing strike rate. He gives up a 569 slugging to righties and a 255 slugging to lefties. So he's actually been really good against lefties from a slugging aspect. Does have a walk issue against those lefties, though, with a 15% walk rate. So even when he's good against lefties, he's got a walk issue. That's going to mean there's going to be traffic on the base paths. The Guardians have a 4.66 implied total. And 10-mile-an-hour winds blowing out, 78 degrees in Detroit today. Garrett Hill's just really not good, man. I expect him to have some trouble. There's a lot of speed in this Guardians lineup. While they don't have the most power, a lot of speed throughout. Jose Ramirez in the 3 spot's a fantastic hitter. You know, maybe he can take Hill deep for us. That would not hurt our feelings. But, yeah, I think Garrett Hill, same thing. He's going to have some struggles here. I'm going to go with the, under 19.5 fantasy score here for Garrett Hill. Same story. He doesn't miss any bats. They have a high implied total. Hill's total isn't, his fantasy score isn't quite as high of a line as Plesac, obviously, but you look at the Vegas data. Once again, I just think they're both too high for these circumstances. I expect Plesac to have a little bit of issues. I expect Hill to have even more issues. So I'm going with the under 19.5 fantasy score for Garrett Hill. Pick number 2. Pick number 3, we're going to be heading down to the Chicago White Sox taking on the Kansas City Royals, and we're going to talk about another guy that doesn't miss any bats. That's going to be Zack Greinke. He has to take on the Chicago White Sox, who come in with a 4.28 implied total, and I think Greinke, once again, has some issues today. You look at his underlying metrics. He's only got a 13.1% K rate. Doesn't walk anyone. The ball should be put in play early and often. He gives up a 440 slugging to those righties and a 428 slugging to lefties. So Greinke has some hard contact issues, especially against the right-handed hitters. He's got a little bit of a higher K rate, but he gives up a lot of slugging. Look at the buildup of this Chicago White Sox lineup. A lot of righties and some righties with some power, especially in the heart of this order. Andrew Vaughn, Jose Abreu, Eloy Jimenez, Luis Robert. Some really talented bats. I know they've been struggling as of late. This is a perfect scenario for them to get right. Once again, we don't have to worry about the strikeouts. When you don't have to worry about the strikeouts, a lot of these bats in the MLB now become, you know, really great plays. Like, you know, it's the strikeouts that kill them, but if the ball's not missing bats, they can still slug it. So, once again, I expect the White Sox to give Zack Greinke some issues. You look at his recent form as far as how he's doing. You can see 3 earned runs, 0, 3. He's consistently giving up 3, 4 earned runs. I don't think I pulled up Hill's game log. Same thing can be said for him. Only 1 earned run last time. He looked in the time before. 4, 3, 3, 6 earned runs. Consistently giving up runs. Same can be said for Zach Plesac. So these first 3 guys, 4, 5, 3, 2, 4 earned runs. I just think their lines are too inflated for the amount of earned runs they give up, the lack of strikeout upside that they possess. Don't miss a lot of bats. Same story is going to be said for Zack Greinke. So pick number 3, we're going to be rocking with the under 17.5 fantasy score for Zack Greinke. That's pick number 3. Pick number 4, we are going to be going down to the Boston Red Sox taking on the Baltimore Orioles. And this is where the bump just occurred, guys. Josh Winkowski, I was able to get him in at under 20.5 fantasy score. Now he's at 18.5 instantaneously. I sent it into the VIP members, and they couldn't even get it in before I released this video. So I'm still rocking with the under. I just want to be transparent. I did get it at 20.5. He's now 18.5. I don't think I really care. I think he's in for some trouble here. 14.5% Q rate overall, only 6.5% swing strike rate, just does not miss bats. He gives up a 467 slugging to righties and a 500 slugging to lefties. The Baltimore Orioles currently have a 4.76 implied run total. And they got some talented bats at the top of the order here. I mean, I know they got rid of Trey Mancini, but Cedric Mullins is a fantastic, talented bat. Adley Rutschman, the top prospect, has looked fantastic since coming up. Santander has some power. Ryan Mountcastle. Rougned Odor has some sneaky power. Austin Hayes, like, these bats aren't as terrible, I think, as some people think for the Baltimore Orioles, and especially in this matchup. Winkowski just doesn't miss bats. Like I said, there's going to be traffic on the base paths. He doesn't miss bats. As far as a walk issue, he does have a walk issue against those lefties as well with an 11.5% walk rate. It's just not looking too good for him. It's in Fenway Park, 75 degrees. Pretty good hitting ballpark overall for these Baltimore Orioles. Now that they extended that wall way out in left field in Baltimore, it's kind of like a ballpark upgrade when they leave Baltimore now, which I never thought I would say. Camden Yards has always been a very friendly hitting environment up until that adjustment they made, but Fenway Park definitely going to be a big upgrade for them as far as a hitting environment is concerned as well. So I think Winkowski's in for some trouble here. We're going to stick with the trend of the video of taking some unders. Going with the under 18.5 fantasy score. Once again, guys, my big ticket and the big ticket I'll be promoting is 20.5. I just can't control that. Like, as soon as I placed it, he got bumped down. So if for some reason he scores like 19, I'm still going to count it as a win for the video. I can't control that. Literally, as soon as I placed it, he went down to 18.5. I'm still taking the under 18.5. I still love the play. Like I said, I think he's in for some big trouble. He doesn't miss any bats. He doesn't really have a lot of strikeout upside. I just don't think he gets the job done today. So I think he comes in way under. I'm still going to promote the under here, but just want to be transparent and say I did get a better line at 20.5. But I'm still all in on the play. I like the play. So that's going to be pick number 4. And then pick number 5 is going to be our first over of the video. And we're going to be talking about Mr. Nick Lodolo because he gets to take on these Chicago Cubs that have added some power to their bats, but especially against left-handed pitching, they have a lot of strikeouts in their bats. And you're looking at Nick Lodolo, he's got some good strikeout stuff. He features a 29% K rate overall, 11.7% swinging strike rate, 28.7% K rate against righties, and a 30.8% K rate against lefties. So really, really good. His only issue is he has a little bit of a slugging issue against righties, which can be a little bit scary, but with that 28.7% K rate, I'm willing to kind of surpass it. And then you look at his recent form, he has been fantastic. You look at the last few outings, 3 earned runs last time out against Milwaukee, 4 strikeouts, 4.2 innings pitched. Not the best outing, but then the time before, 1 earned run, 0 earned runs, 6 innings pitches respectively in each of those games against Miami and Baltimore. I kind of think that this is kind of a similar matchup as far as the lefty against the Cubs. Like I said, they have added some bats. It is in Cincinnati, which is a little bit scary, but if you do the calculations and where Lodolo is from a strikeout prop aspect today, he's right at 7 flat, so he is expected to get 7+ strikeouts. I think there's a good chance he lands on 7 exactly, so I'm going to be going with the fantasy score and taking the over. And if you do the math, if he's able to go 6+ innings, give us those 7 strikeouts, get us the quality start, which you get a quality start 4-point bonus for when it comes to the pitching fantasy score, he could still give up 3 runs and hit the over on this 32.5 line. So that's where I'm thinking. You get the 6 points for the win. If he gets the win somehow, that'd be fantastic. That's a nice little cherry on top. I'm not even anticipating that he gets the win with this pick. Sometimes with the higher lines, you have to factor in the win for me to even have interest. This is not one that I'm worried about it. If you can go 6+ innings, get those 7 strikeouts, get the 4 bonus for the quality start, you can still get -9 if he gives up 3 earned runs, let's say, and he's still going to hit the over 32.5. So that's kind of where my reasoning is on this. I really like him to get a lot of strikeouts in this matchup. But he does have some hard contact issues. So if for some reason he were to make like one mistake, as long as he keeps it to under 3 earned runs, I still really like it. And like I said, I think there's a pretty good chance he gets 7 flat strikeouts. I'm not going to be... I think the upside's way more. I just think there's more edge on this pitcher fantasy score line than there is on the 7 strikeouts. So for that reason, if he was at 6.5 strikeouts, I'd be all in on the strikeouts here. So if you can find that on other sites, go for it. But on Prizepicks, I do like the over 32.5 projected pitcher fantasy score for Nick Lodolo. Obviously, if he wants to go out there and strike out 10, we will not complain. That is certainly reasonable. If his team wants to give him some run support and get him a win, we will not complain either. But once again, we're looking for the bare minimum, finding the best value possible. And I do think there's some good value in this number. So, and then lastly, the leash. The leash is really long for him. So I expect him to get those 6+ innings. You look 100, 98, 96 pitches respectively. And the Cubs, lastly, their strikeout rates. A lot of strikeouts to be had in these Chicago Cubs bats. Starting from the bottom up, as we always do, with Nick Madrigal. He's a low strikeout guy with only 9, but then you get past him. 34, 28, 12 for Nico Horner. Once again, a low strikeout guy, but then Franmil Reyes, Patrick Wisdom, Contreras, Morel, all strikeout a ton. 34, 33, 21, 27. Suzuki's a high strikeout guy. So I think that Lodolo is able to go out there, have a pretty solid start. He may give up those 3 earned runs, but as long as he keeps it to 3 or under, we're good. And I think a big reason these Cubs have that 4.5 implied total is because the Cincinnati Reds bullpen is the dead last worst bullpen in the league in xFIP. Or I'm sorry, second to dead last on my sheet. So their bullpen's really, really bad. I think that's a big reason why the Cubs have that 4.5 implied total. I don't think that's as much of a reflection on Nick Lodolo. So Pick number 5, we're rocking with the over 32.5 projected fantasy score for Nick Lodolo. And that is my 5 picks to get you winning some money over here on Prizepicks in the MLB today, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. If you haven't checked out the premium content packages, you need to check those out today. Like I said, if you're playing every single day, you got to hop in the VIP member package. You're going to make a lot more than on your investment every single month. I can promise you that much. Most of my members are investing that $50 a month, and they're up thousands of dollars. Some play smaller units, they're still up way over that $50. So it's well worth it, even if you're only playing like $5 units. You're going to make more than that $50. You're going to get your return on investment. And we have a lot of fun in the Discord. So a lot of jokes, a lot of good times. Yeah, guys, that is all from me. Wishing you all the best of luck on your MLB props today, and we will see you in the next one.